What's going on, guys? My name is Jay, and in this video I'm going to show you how I use gulp almost every day. If you don't know what gulp is, I want to show you very quickly one of the things that you can do with it. So right now I have here a very basic website. You can see that I'm requesting a style.css file. Now, I don't have this file yet because I'm using Sass, as you can see here. So this is all some Sass code. So I need to compile this code to a CSS file, only one CSS file. But then after that, I want to minify that CSS file and then use the CSS file. It sounds very complicated, but that's when gulps come and help us. So gulp can actually, every time I edit something here and I save the file, gulp can do all that for me automatically. It compiles the file, it saves the file in a folder, it get the file from that folder and save it on another folder and convert the file, whatever you want, gulp can do it. Let's go and install gulp. And for that, you're gonna need Node.js. Every link that I'm going to show here, every website that I'm going to show you, I'm going to paste it on the description of this video. Go there, download it, install it in your computer. It's just like a normal app, so install it there. And then after it's installed, then we go here to gulp.js.com and we can install gulp. We're going to use our command line interface, which a ton of people is scared of this interface. Right now, to install gulp, we just need to follow these simple instructions here. We can just copy and paste it, all right? Remember, you need to install Node.js before, if not, this is not gonna work. All right, so let's open the command line. For now, you can be on any folder, but then we need to go to our project folder, okay? So first you need to install the gulp CLI because we're gonna use some specific commands for gulp. So you just need to copy this and paste it here and hit enter, and it will install everything you need to use the gulp command line and everything. If you're using Mac and you get like permission errors, all you need to do is like use sudo and then paste that and hit enter, okay? I'm not gonna do it because I already did it and I'm just gonna load and I already have everything I need. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do, now I'm gonna go to the folder. So let's look at my project folder, is this one right here. So I'm just gonna write cd space and I'm just gonna drag and drop the folder. I'm gonna hit enter. And right now I'm inside my project folder. All right, you can double check by writing ls, hit enter, and it will show you the files inside that folder, and that's correct. You can use pwd and it will show you the path to that folder, and this is correct. So we're good to go. I'm gonna put clear so we can clear that out. We are in our folder, good. And now we can just run this command called npm init. And this will create like a file with a bunch of things that is gonna describe our project. So for example, our package name, you can put whatever you want. I'm just gonna hit enter. The version, I'm just gonna hit enter again. Description, whatever you want. I don't wanna put anything for now. Entry point, so I'm just hitting enter, enter, enter until the end. They will show you like a preview. So right now everything is empty here. It doesn't matter for now, it's gonna work. But I think you wanna add a little bit of description and your name and all that stuff. So I'm gonna, yes. All right, so if we go inside our folder, now we have this new file. So I'm gonna open my editor. You will see it here. And that's what we did right now. That's, like the name, the version, description. All right, next we're gonna copy this. This is what is going to install gulp in our project. So let's go there. Let's clear this out. Let's paste it. Let's hit enter. This is gonna take a minute or two depending on your computer. All right, and that's done. It's gonna give you some warnings because of they're gonna tell you to update this package or whatever. Don't worry, that's not gonna be an issue. So you will see that we have gulp, and they're gonna let you know the version, all the packages they added, and all that stuff. So right now we have gulp inside our folder here, and now you will notice something different in your file, your package.json file that you created earlier, and you will see dev dependencies, gulp, and the version. So for now, we're just gonna close that, so don't worry about that file. Let's go back to the gulp website, and now we're gonna do this one. So let's copy. Let's go back there. Let's clear this out, and now we're gonna paste that. So touch is just a command that will create a file. So it's gonna create a gulp file.js, and it's gonna be empty. It's just creating that file. We're gonna hit enter. And that's it. Let's see. And now we have this gulp file.js file, and it's totally empty. Okay. Let's go back. And this gulp help, you don't have to. This is just more for instruction and explaining you different commands that you can use to help if you're confused or whatever. But that's it. So we are ready to start our project. So we are here. Open your gulp file .js. This is a very important file. This is the file that we're gonna use, and add some code here. Okay. The first one, we're gonna create a variable of gulp equals require and gulp. Whoops. That's the first one, and you need it. It's very important. You need it to run gulp, of course. We're getting gulp, and now what we're gonna do is adding different packages. So the first one I need is the Sass one, which is going to get all my Sass files and put it in a different folder, compile everything, and put a CSS file on it. All right. So I have here the package somewhere here. I think it's this one. Here you go. So in here you can search for a ton of packages.coms that you can install using npm. Ton of packages, thousands of packages that you can use. You can get very, very creative. So this is the one that actually get my Sass file and compile to CSS. So here it is, very simple. They give you this so you can install. So let's just copy. Let's go there. Let's paste it. Let's hit enter. All right, so now we have the gulp Sass already installed, so we can use it. So let's go back there to our editor. All right, so now we need to add here. So you can see, they give you like an example of how you can add your, how you can use that package. So let's just copy and paste it. First, we need to add the package and require the package. So let's just copy this and this. Let's go back there. All right, cool. Now this is a task. This is what's gonna run, like a function that is gonna run. Let's just see what's going on here. It's gonna take the Sass, which is this. So this one here, we need to change it because we have our Sass in this Sass folder. So let's go here, Sass. And then inside this Sass folder, we're gonna have a bunch of Sass files. So we're gonna do this .sass. So this is like a wildcard. It's gonna take every single file that we have with this format. So it's gonna take every single one, or you can be very specific. You can be like style.sass. It's gonna take that. But for now, I want every single file. So you do that, and that's done. So what's gonna happen here? This is just if there's an error, they're gonna tell you there's an error. If not, it's gonna pipe, and then it's gonna run whatever you want and save your CSS file here. So all this, I don't want to confuse you, all this is just getting the file, your Sass file, compiling the file, and saving the CSS file in this folder. So right now it's saving the file on a CSS folder, which we don't have, it doesn't exist, but Gulp is going to create the folder for us, so you don't have to, okay? So let's save that and let's test it. So our task name is Sass. So let's go and say Gulp Sass. Hit enter. All right. You can see here, no errors, no nothing. It's just saying, like, started the Sass task. It's finished after this time. We're good to go. If you go back now to your editor, you will see a new CSS folder. Let's open that folder. There's a style.css, which is the same name as this one. And look at this. Normal CSS. Very cool, huh? Gulp is helping us to do that for us. Now, I need to create another task for the CSS because I want to then get all the CSS and minify the CSS. So let's go back there. We need the uglified CSS package. So it's same thing. They have here the install command line. So let's copy. Let's clear all this. All right. So let's paste it and hit enter. All right, cool. Same thing. Now we have the uglified CSS installed and ready to use. So let's go here and now we can actually use it. Let's copy. Let's paste it here. All right, so as you can see, it's kind of doing the same thing all over again when you have a new package. I'm just gonna put this one down here just because I wanted, you don't have to do it like that, but all right, so right now is the task is called CSS and it's gonna take the file from this. So let's change it. It's gonna be inside our CSS folder and I'm gonna do the same thing. Every file with a CSS format is gonna take it and uglify it, which is another word for minify it. And we have some options here that I'm gonna explain to you what they do. So for example, max line length is like every 80 characters, I want a new line, which I don't want to, but I'm gonna leave it like that so we can see how it looks. And it's gonna save it on a folder named dist. I'm gonna leave it like that. This can be whatever you want, really. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna save this. And let's run this task. Let's do it. So let's do gulp CSS, hit enter. All right, cool. Everything seems to work. And now you will notice that we have a new dist folder. Let's open that. We have a style.css here. And there you can, now we can see that it's an minified CSS file. This is a good file that we can use on our production. Like, this is what you're gonna upload to your server. This is gonna be very fast. But this is what I don't like about the max length option thing. It's creating new lines for us. So I'm just gonna remove that. Save it again. I'm gonna run gulp CSS. Let's see if it changed. This is what I'm looking for. So now we have only one line of code with all the CSS in that line of code. And this is perfect. This is what I like. And now this is what I'm using on my website. As you can see, is getting from the dist folder, style CSS, and that's what I'm using. So let's see if this is working right now. All right. So it's reading the CSS just fine. Everything looks great. So let's close this and this. We don't need it now. All right, but the thing is that now you need to go there and kind of use gulp, Sass, or gulp, CSS every time you want to do it. And that's not what I want, right? You want everything to be automatically. My goal is every time I change something in my Sass file and hit save, everything will change automatically. I don't have to go here and type the task. So let's go to gulpfile.js and let's add some stuff. So I'm going to create a new task, gulp.task. And this is gonna be called whatever I want, but I'm gonna call it run. And it's gonna run my Sass task and my CSS task. Right? That's cool. But now I want to go a little bit further. So I'm going to write another task. And this one is going to be called watch. And we're going to run a function for this one. All right, and this is the one that I like. This is the one that is gonna do everything for you automatically without touching the command line, okay? So we're gonna do gulp, watch, and the files that we wanna watch every time I change my Sass file. So let's go and Sass. If I change any file with the Sass, is gonna run my Sass. Sorry, like this. Okay, same thing with the CSS. So if my CSS changes, I wanna go. So let's go to the folder. Oops. CSS. Same thing, every single CSS that I have there is gonna run my CSS task. All right, so that's watch. Now I'm gonna create a task, and it's gonna be the default task. So let's go there, default. Now I'm gonna run my run task and my watch task. So when I say default is gulp, so if I write gulp, it's gonna give you an error right now because we don't have it yet. But we created, so let's save this file. And now let's see if it works. So let's go gulp. Oops, sorry. We need a comma after the task's name, comma. Save it again. Let's clear this. Gulp. And there you go. So everything runs. And now it's kind of washing our file. So gulp is kind of watching you. And if you make a change, it will go again and run everything again. All right. If you want to get out of here of this watching state, you just need to hit Control-C. And you will see that we go like back to normal. All right, but that's not what I want. So gulp. All right, cool. So let's go to the Sass. All right, make sure you're watching this because I want to know if it changed. So make sure you're watching this. Let's go to the Sass file. Let's change, I don't know, the font size, for example. Let's save it. All right, just reload the page and it's changing. So every time I save my Sass file, it's compiling my file, is doing all this, it's compiling my file to CSS, is getting my CSS and minifying my CSS, and then it's washing our files every time we do this. So it's kind of an automated workflow, and this is only the basics. Okay, this is very simple right now. This can be very, very complicated. You can save your file and it can do a ton of things. It can do everything with JavaScript, for example. This is only CSS. We can run prefixes. We can do JavaScript minify too. We can do Babel. So you can do a ton of things with gulp. This is only the basics with a Sass file, compile, and stuff like that. So I hope you like this. That's it.